Hello and welcome to Unlock with Sony CES 2022 edition. I'm your host, Coy Jandreau, and we are coming to you live from Sony Pictures Entertainment Studios here in Culver City, California, where the latest in Sony entertainment technologies all converge in one incredible place. Unlock with Sony is a very special program that's meant to spark curiosity for the latest and greatest in developing technology, and that involves you. So please share your thoughts and questions in the comment section on YouTube or use the hashtag UnlockWithSony on Twitter, and we may just answer your question here tonight. Now, we have a fantastic group of creators and experts in the sound field for today's session. So let's begin. Unlock with Sony. Once again, welcome to Unlock with Sony, CES 2022 edition. Today's panel will focus on how advancing technology is changing the sound space. Please welcome on-air talent, DJ, and content producer Hannah Rad, G4 host, esports personality, and streamer Ovilee May, and composer, songwriter, music producer, and specialist in 360 reality audio creation, Toft Willingham. How we doing, guys?
How's it going?
Feeling good. It sounds great in here.
Yeah, right? It sounds really good. Toft, it sounds good in here?
I think it sounds great.
Okay, we're
Fully
talking about sound
immersed.
today. Make sure
Fully
we're immersed in the sound in 360.
Yeah.
So immersive.
Here we are. Now, spatial audio is shaping new entertainment experiences, and the trend behind all these technologies is to immerse virtual participants in sound all around them, as if they're at a live concert with an artist in the recording studio. The potential of this type of space is not limited to a single medium, but can and will impact films, gaming, music, sports entertainment, and so much more. So let's talk about 360 reality audio, a new immersive music experience. All right, so Toft, since you use this technology often, can you explain how spatial sound technology creates a new music experience and why that matters?
Sure. So traditionally, we had left and right. We had music in stereo. And we've become accustomed to that. But now, with this object-based spatial audio technology, we can place objects all around us so you could have something swoosh past you, you can put things behind you, in front of you. So it's changed it quite a bit.
So would you say that this would be as immersive as you can get using all the different directions? So it's not just left and right, it's literally up, down, left, right, center. It's a full, it's stereoscopic.
Correct. It is up, down, left, right. You could put low frequencies underneath you. You can have, more ethereal sounds above you, or you can put anything you want anywhere. So it has completely changed how you pan objects in music.
And how did you first come across this technology?
So I first encountered the technology through music.com. I do a lot of work with music.com as an engineer and producer. And Sony partnered with them and asked us to beta test some of the earlier versions of the 360 RA software. And so I've been working with it ever since then. This has been about 2 years now. And now there's an Audio Futures plugin that's actually available. So you can use it on any DAW, you can use it on Pro Tools, or it will be on any DAW. Right now it's Pro Tools, I think Ableton.
And any specific issues this resolved for you, like specifically this technology?
The biggest one is that when you have an instrument and object, typically we're carving out mixes in stereo. We're trying to make room for things. So, for instance, if you have a guitar and it has a lot of low frequencies, you want to carve those out so it doesn't interfere with the bass and the drums. But now with this 360 technology, you can create that room by panning the instruments, so you can place things behind you and around you and really let the instrument be more full range as far as the frequencies. So that's just one thing, but I mean, it really is a big difference.
So carving out frequencies is selecting an individual frequency and isolating it and using it for your own power, like grabbing it on purpose and wielding it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. It's like, how can you keep everything clear in a mix? How can you have everything be clear and be audible in a mix and flow together? So in stereo, you're having to carve out a lot, and you're saying, okay, this guitar is really interfering with this bass. What can I do? But now I can just take that guitar and put it over here, or I can take the guitar and put it over here, and have the bass be here, and I can let them both be full range. And same thing with bass. Maybe it has high frequencies that would interfere with the guitar. So yeah, that's the nature of
Now,
carving
how do you
out
expect
mixes.
this to develop as this goes on? Like, how do you expect spatial sound to evolve?
Well, there's a lot of obviously new applications that it can be used for. I mean, there's the possibilities are endless with the way everything's turning to VR and the metaverse and Web3 and all this. I mean, there's going to be infinite experiences that we can have with immersive audio, even like physical installations. You know, there's this Van Gogh installation going around that's immersive, things like that. I mean, over the next 10 years, I think we'll see this explode.
It's fascinating to hear about sound literally evolving in real time, where we think of sound as left and right. You can visually like see headphones, and now this is exponential increase. Now, Hannah, as a DJ, would the new possibilities of this enhance the overall experience both for you and the consumer?
I think both, and at the same time, and I think Toft touched on two really important things. The left and the right linear nature of what we know sound to be. Like if you take a pair of headphones or you take a set of speakers, I'm talking years back, you can go mono and hear the same thing out of both, or you can go stereo and that was your only option and you can bump one level or another. Well, now we're taking it to infinite possibilities and we're having that immersive experience. As a DJ and as a concert goer, as someone who's loved festivals and has experienced it from all angles, the word experience speaks heavily from both the consumer and the producer side. I'm someone who has attended festivals and rushed in when the gates opened to stand right at the front of the fence to see my favorite bands. After years of going, you realize that's not the best place to listen to sound because you're just getting assaulted like with that bass right in your chest. So after years and years of going, taking many steps back, standing in the middle of the crowd, you realize that you're gonna get a much warmer sound. And that goes if you're at a concert, it goes if you're just at a big festival. And for me, you know, being a DJ who's performed on big stages or even hosting festivals, you can see now that the dynamic is changing. You take a look at someone like a Kanye West who is performing in the round. He's literally put the stage in the middle of a big amphitheater and put speakers all around. Now, currently, he's just blasting sound outwardly, but with spatial sound, you'll be able to kind of bounce it back. So not only is he having the best audio experience and hearing back to, you know, what's in the monitor, what's in his ears, but the crowd too is having that experience as well.
So that's the live experience, which is transforming rapidly. Yeah. But what about making a mix for the home experience? Would you be able to make a mix for someone that would be like Kanye in the center making that sound, or like positioned, say, this specific spot, this specific, could you mix that way?
1,000%, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to touch on now, where it's not just 2 channels or 4 channels, it is a completely 360 experience. And basically what we want to do, you know, being someone who hosts and DJs these festivals, we've been able to marry something in the visual sense. You know, you can be live on a YouTube or a Twitch and be watching what's happening in person through your URL. I'll say it a lot, the IRL meets the URL. So the in real life experience has to meet what's happening on the web as well. So for the sound portion to kind of match what's happening visually, I mean, we're already working there. You know, people are warping sounds in a completely new way. As a DJ, you know, a disc jockey, we are jockeying the discs back and forth. We are improvising on the fly. So why not do that with sound as well and sound jockeying it and making things sound a little bit different? Not that you're a magician, but you are a technician and you are definitely changing people's perception on what a song should sound like, or 2 songs, or 3 songs together.
And it's so interesting, we've looked at 3D and we've looked at the visual language for so long, but now this spatial exponential increase, like we keep talking about, it's staggering, the ramifications. And now for something like gaming, Ovilee, this is, she mentioned visuals, but what would the ramifications of this be for the gaming arena?
Honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I heard about like spatial sound and being able to hear from all around you was VR and virtual reality, right? Like if I'm popped in a room in VR chat and I have 20 different users in the room with me and there's, you know, 3 people having a conversation to my left, 5 people behind me to the right, someone's doing a dance and a song in front of me, and I'm able to hear and kind of like isolate out and see, like really experience everything that's going around. Like, sure, I have the visual immersion, but the audio, like then you're fully in this world, and you no longer feel like, oh yeah, sure, I'm sitting alone in my house with no one and nothing to do, COVID, and now all of a sudden, like I could be at a concert, right? 100%. I'm gonna push to the front though. Like I gotta get that aggression, right? Exactly, but still, I could still have, you know, the benefits of all the audio and everything around me. And now, if you want to get really technical with it, there are some games that use audio cues to your advantage. Right. So you have tactical shooters, FPS games, like Valorant, CS:GO, a little bit of Call of Duty, where if you listen for the footsteps, you know where the enemy is coming from. So, hey, with spatial sound, if you hear the footsteps coming from behind you to your right, turn around, take them out, And it's much easier than knowing it's somewhere behind me.
Yeah, like games when you're hiding in a box and waiting for the sneaky sound effects, you'd actually detect
Exactly.
certain soldiers walking around before your exclamation point popped up.
Yeah.
Specifically. That is so in life, it's affecting your immersion, and in game, it allows the creators, the writers, the actual voice actors, everyone to actually put you with them alongside them playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating. Now, you all work in a variety of fields, and it is interesting how each of these is going to adapt them differently, but do you think any certain fields will adapt these things sooner than others, and why or why not? Like, what do you think will be the first to do it, Hannah?
I mean, I think we already are. I mean, obviously taking a cue from movies and surround sound, it's, you know, that's definitely an experience in which you feel like you're part of it. You can hear things in different time and in different space, and much to Ovilee's point with gaming, you can hear footsteps coming up, and it gives you this physiological response. So why not do the same with music and listening to your favorite artists? As a DJ for me, I have made it my, you know, specialty of putting a classic rock song. Let's take Queen, and we're gonna mix it with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP. On paper, it might not work, but I am going to make it work. But now imagine you can actually hear Freddie Mercury here, and you feel like Cardi B is rapping at you from over here, and Megan Thee Stallion is coming in at you from this angle. It feels like they are in the room with you. And to have that, not only as someone who is listening to it, who I'm outputting that to, but to come back to me as the DJ, like I have chills talking about it because I feel like it's this warming, like big hug that kind of comes in because you kind of don't know where things are coming from, and that's the beauty and the magic of it, to be surprised continually about the things that you have the passion and the purpose for. And to be able to produce in a new way like that is paramount.
And we've been remixing since music,
Yeah.
and we've been sampling since music, but it's not linear, but it's more linear, and so this seems like an exponential increase in the medium of music.
This is not linear at all.
Yeah, it's
oh
the
boy,
opposite.
we're carving
This is
around.
exponential.
We all over the place.
This is everything.
Yeah.
Any mediums you're looking forward to adapting this specifically?
Oh, I mean, I feel like like you said, we're already seeing it. I mean, specifically with concerts, something that we were talking about was Porter Robinson's Secret Sky, and how during the middle of COVID, no one could really go to a concert, so he built one within just like a browser program. So anyone who had access to the internet could go in and watch this amazing set and really, you know, immerse themselves in what we can say is maybe a new normal for concert going. But also just in the gaming scene specifically, gamers are young. Gamers are always the first ones to adapt to absolutely anything. I mean, you throw in new mechanics for a new game, and we're going to complain about it for the first 10 minutes, but then we're already going to be used to it. Inverted controls, how do we do that? Now we know how to use 360 sound. But yeah, it's going to be fast.
I've been thinking in the storytelling medium, in podcasting, in audiobooks, how interesting it would be to have a stage play and have the stage feel like you're present, like you're in the Shakespeare chair. You're on the stage with these voice actors, and there's actually the ability to not just have like voice, but like voice, and experience like a story in that way.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Yeah, it's happening now?
Yeah, that is happening. Yeah, there's a lot of work in the space for podcasts. The podcasters and podcast producers are looking for immersive audio because it works great for that medium. And I agree that gamers and young people just are attached to new technologies and they want those new experiences. I think people that are pushing back, to go back to your original question, the people that might be a little slower are some of the older, you know, are stuck in their ways, audio engineers and people who are like, you know, stereo or go home.
Sure.
But I mean, you have to evolve, you have to adapt. It's a really interesting way to ingest music. If you've had the experience of listening to music in this new way, you can't deny that it affects you differently. So.
And you're familiar with virtual mixing environments, also known as this 360 VME, which is used right here at Sony Studios.
Right.
Can you explain what that is and what specifically it does?
Sure. So the best way to explain it is to just kind of get to the root of what this technology does. So the 360 technology uses something called a hearing profile. So what Sony's done is they've measured the ears of thousands of people, and they've created this thing called the standard hearing profile, which is like an average of all these people's ears. So if you go and you were just going to listen to music on Tidal, you would be hearing it through this standard hearing profile. And as they collect more people's data, it actually improves. So since I've been working on this stuff, the hearing profile has gotten better and better and better, and it's only going to get better from here. But with the VME, what they do is they can actually bring a person into a space, measure their ears, they put these little microphones in your ears. I've had it done. It's pretty rad. And they put tones to the speakers, and it measures your ears and also the way that your ears respond to this space. So then you can go home and put your headphones on and hear what you would be hearing in that space. So in Sony, I have a good friend, Mark Patterson, who's a really great film mixer here at Sony, and he uses it professionally right now in a great application. What they do is when he's mixing a film at a theater on the Sony lot, he brings the director in beforehand, or somebody brings the director in beforehand and measures their ear in the theater. And then that director can then go home in the private of his COVID quarantine apartment, and Mark can mix the film and then send that
to his ears.
The director, and the director can then hear it from his house the way it's being heard in the theater.
So someone could theoretically map out like the Sydney Opera House and want to compose something for the Sydney Opera House from Boston.
They probably already have. And you can, the thing that's interesting also is, so if you wanted to come into our studio at music.com, we could measure your ears and you could go home and mix exactly how it sounds at the music.com studio.
Ovilee, I saw you get excited a couple times. What's your first reaction to this?
I'm learning so much right now. Just sandwiched between like these two wells of knowledge. I'm like, and what else can we do? What else can we do?
I want to know what else we can do, because how soon is that application going to be used in like a general consumer's life? Like not just a director when you're in the mixing and mastering stage. Like I want to be the person who doesn't want to have to go to the movie theater, but stream it at home and have that kind of experience. Is that is that a far leap to something that's going to be available?
No, I don't think it's a far leap. I think the standard hearing profile, so because it's an average, you'll be able to have that really soon. You can have that now with the plugin.
Okay.
But as far as being able to, hear what it sounds like at the theater, I think it won't be long.
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming. And it sounds great. If you get the experience to try it and to really immerse yourself in it, I mean, it sounds amazing.
Hannah, do you have any DJ-based instincts? Is there anything that, like, in hearing him say that, you're like, is there anything?
Well, yeah, obviously, I've been on big stages and in small clubs and underground techno places where it's like the sound is very different. There's a great club that used to be in New York called Cielo, and if you stood right in the middle of the dance floor, all of the speakers were placed down upon you. But the way that they had it leveled out with the bass and the mids and the highs, it just was this, like, you ask anybody who's ever been there or DJed there over the past 20 years, and they will say that is the absolute pinnacle of sound in New York. So I'm thinking that club doesn't exist anymore.
That's what I was thinking.
But I can say, oh, this is Hannah Rad DJing live at Cielo from her bedroom studio, but it sounds exactly like that sound system.
So I was thinking of the Middle East downstairs, the Middle East upstairs in Boston, and like how I'd want
so many times.
right? So that space that I miss, I don't necessarily want to go to giant stadiums. I want to experience a band. Like I don't want to be with them, and this allows for that, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, you could. So as long as the space exists and they could actually go measure it, you could in theory do that. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, losing venues hurts me, but it sounds like we can preserve them in our own way, which is amazing.
Sick. Yeah, the only club I've been in is Club Penguin, so I can't necessarily relate there, but this is exciting.
We're gonna map some clubs, you guys. All right, now we're gonna listen to the difference between stereo audio and 360 reality audio. Now here in the studio, we will be able to tell the difference between the two, but for those of you at home, please put on headphones for the full experience. I'm gonna give you a few seconds here to grab those headphones, hopefully they're nearby. Now, I've heard this a few times and I cannot get over how cool it is, and now with these applications, I'm very excited, so get ready. Hopefully you got your setups ready at home. All right, we're gonna roll that video.
Feel it all around. Lose yourself in sound. Feel it all around. Immerse your mind in sound.
Ovilee, first reaction.
I mean, my first reaction is more of a question, and I'm wondering, is the way that they recorded that by taking each instrument, like, you know, a cowbell, a triangle, and then just running around the microphone in the room? Because that's my dream for how it's recorded. But I could be
New
wrong
job
here.
goals. Like Ovilee's like, is this a job I can apply for?
I will run around with a saxophone. And if I trip, then that's just adding to, you know, like the lower.
Well, yeah, that's
you
also
go.
a different soundbite that might be unique to that space, which we can now map out, and that would be you falling in blank.
So immersive.
Everything's available. Now, Toft, is there a job of person runs around with stick with microphone?
Oh, absolutely. Come on.
All right.
We're in there. Job security.
We'll email you. What's interesting about that video too is that that's really what the plugin looks like. It's obviously a little more stylized, but this sphere that sits around the listening space. So when you're panning the objects around you, you actually have this sphere. So in Pro Tools, I like pull up an instance of the plugin, and there's this sphere, and I'm then like
Oh, interesting.
making, and you automate the objects in Pro Tools so they swirl around and do whatever you want them to do. So it pretty cool video.
Yeah.
So the visual is basically a 360, so you can mentally see what you're hearing in 360. Does that help you connect those dots when you're designing something for your ears to see how it'll sound in that 360 space? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it does. So when you're doing a mix in this software, in the Audio Futures plugin, so you put the instance on your stems. You know, you have all your songs stemmed out, and you put your instances on there, and you open it up, and you see this sphere, and you're instantly like inspired. You're like, oh my God, this sphere! What am I gonna do with it? You know, and so you're automating things, and they're swirling around, and you're seeing it happen, and you're hearing it happen, and it makes it like really interesting and like sort of real to you suddenly. And I mean, it is so fun to play with that plugin.
Yeah.
It's like a video game. It's ridiculous.
You said that the plugin is available for Ableton?
It is, I believe. Yeah, I believe it is. I believe Ableton and Pro Tools right now,
Okay.
but they're working on getting it for all of it.
'Cause
So it's really new, you know.
Yeah, as someone, I mean, I use Ableton, and for anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like the Photoshop of audio editing. It's like a cut, copy, paste, and you can like put something on a very straight linear line. Obviously, there's a ton of plugins to put other instruments. There's a keyboard you can pop up, or a drum kit, or make it sound like a live guitar. But what you're saying is, so basically it looks like where you're actually wanting to position sounds at, and you
Right.
can take one element of it. Obviously, there's many things like compressors and levels and, you know, phasers, which
Yeah.
is like the standard go-to in any audio workspace. But with that involved, like I'm already like sitting here like multitasking, thinking, I was like, I can't wait to go home and like start remixing some stuff, because
Right.
it's definitely giving it a different advantage now. Because instead of, you know, kind of working along the line and editing a track together, this is taking it with like depth into it.
Do you see your audio visually when you're imagining tracks that you're mixing now that you have this, like with visual aids like this, is that's how you see your process?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had already seen it that way. You can see it, one, in the engagement and reaction of a crowd. Two, you can see it in the way that you engage with the track when you are creating it. Something as simple as taking an extra drum beat and putting it on it. You see it louder, heavier.
Yeah.
And it's a physiological thing to kind of try and explain, but I feel like that's where we're at with this now. This is way beyond just hearing something. It's feeling it, it's smelling it, it's sensing it's coming up, the footsteps, the guitar coming in from whatever angle it's coming in. It's a really tangible experience now. You can't quite see it, but you can at the same time.
With tech like this,
Yeah.
would you want to look at like a stadium, say, and see the different like tiers and stadium grade, and then try to have that mapped out for you visually in order to place where you'd want these speakers?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of already there. If you go to a bigger venue, if you go to a bigger festival, the guys behind the boards at the front of house, they have incredible stations in front of them, and each one is specific to every artist playing, to the point where someone will bring in a huge sound mixer just for the headliner, and it won't be the same exact pattern and plugins that is being used for the person who just performed 20 minutes before them. But that's just, again, those are levels going up and down and a little bit to the left and right. With that kind of space, like my mind starts going as well too. It's not just the audio mixers and the artists or the DJs who are manipulating the sound, but take it one step further, and not only can the audience participate in that and have a different experience if they're wearing headphones and they can manipulate the sound that's happening live. But then when we're talking about how to have that same experience at home, rather than just hitting, click, my sound is spatial. No, let me manipulate it as well.
Like if you're someone that likes the saxophone like myself,
of
you can be like
course.
Carly Rae, we're going to play at the saxophone.
Give me that
a little bit,
solo,
crank it up.
yes.
I love that. That's a really good point. So you're interacting with the music also in real time.
1,000%.
That's great. Now, Toft, with this technology, what sort of things would you be inspired to create specifically using, like we have that visual aid?
Right. Well, I mean, we were kind of talking about it a little bit earlier about like how well it suits psychedelic music like dub music. I got a real dub and reggae heavy background. So to me, creating something with that sort of those psychedelic elements, but then also incorporating, like how you were talking about podcasts.
Yeah.
Like imagine having like a concept album where you have little skits and things happening and people whispering in your ear, and you kind of went on this whole journey and told this whole story with dub music. You know, I kind of like have this thing kicking around in my brain about it, that if you just use this from inception and you were like, this is what I'm creating in, which I've had like been lucky enough to be one of the first people to really do that. But I feel like, I mean, there's something brewing there, you know? So, I mean, that's just one thing. There's a million things that come to my mind.
Now,
you know?
Ovilee, we were talking earlier about movies and remastering and how with video, the 4K evolution is very much here. But do you think using this technology will get remasters of like spatial sound and starting from the ground up with sound and rebuilding that way?
I sure hope so, because one of the things that we were joking about is the first thing that you learn in film school is that audio is always more important than the visual. Take notes if you want to go to film school.
Film students, very important. We really are judging that.
This picture, like, I could freeze, but if you can't hear what I'm saying, then the entire show stops, right? Then the content is just like, oh, it's so icky. So to go back and, you know, look at some of the older movies that maybe they didn't have the technology at the time to really capture clear audio in specific situations or something like that. Like, I would love to see that. I would also love to see, we're talking about remasters, there's also a lot of good video game remasters that have happened. Like, they remastered the Uncharted series, I don't know how many times, or Last of Us, I don't know how many times. But when you are in these large kind of like conventions, like an E3 or a Comic-Con or something, you'll see a lot of studios often put together kind of like these big promotional rooms where they'll walk you inside, they'll sit you down and be like, this is going to be the new trailer or gameplay teaser for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
And you sit down, and how it was when I first saw it, everything was like grassy and green, kind of like this grassy wall that we have here, but a little bit more robotic dinosaurs. But to have like the immersive sound around with you as you're also watching this amazing gameplay, like that's what gets you sucked into a game. Like that's more of what I want to see and how I want to see this technology being used. So remaster the video games.
I keep thinking like the leap from like DVD to Blu-ray was so transformative because you saw new things in the picture. You saw the movies that you've loved your whole life in a new way. And to me, there's a lot of movies that I would love to hear in a new way. There's a lot of sound mixes where it's like, I love your action, thank you so much, but what are they saying? And I feel like with spatial audio, that's something you could really do. Is there anything that jumps out to you that would be like, oh, I'd like that remastered?
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, if it's not a song or an artist's catalog, we've had plenty of remasters, and I think, you know, Toft had mentioned earlier, sometimes the elder generation is slow to adapt to new technology, but if Queen's album comes out or Bob Marley's and it's remastered, they're all gonna dive in on it. I think for me, coming from like the production, the DJ standpoint, and also working in this interactive and virtual space with young creatives, the DJ world has adapted so quickly to NFTs and minting on the blockchain. And when you're talking about spatial sound and this 360 audio immersive experience, you can take a DJ set that I do, twist it, make it a personalized experience, and then you take it, you mint it on the blockchain, and you have an NFT that you own specifically, a piece of original work done by Hannah Rad that only one person can go and enjoy legally. You know? So I think it's all about that personalization with it, because you can go to a concert, you can go to a festival, you can go and see your favorite artists perform, but you can be like, oh, I didn't really love this song or how they did it, but let me like tweak with the audio afterwards with these plugins and with the ability to make it perfect for you. It's just gonna take everyone's individual experience to another level.
I'm also thinking back in like the pre-Napster days, there was an era of concerts being recorded that were unique to like you were there at the blah blah blah. And you're talking about NFTs and stuff being individualized, and already there's people like band shirts are singular to that one experience.
Of course.
You could have a series of spatial audios from that one concert, from not only that concert but that seat. So if you were at this show, you recorded that seat's experience of that time, and that could be its own series of blockchains and its own experience of XYZ. I want.
How interesting! And then you get it. Yeah, you get your own NFT that's kind of like your concert
Yeah,
poster.
you get a ticket of
like
your sound design. You
memorabilia.
could also map your ears.
Yeah.
So
Right,
your sound,
exactly.
your experience, your seat,
Yeah.
your concert to you
Right.
could be everywhere.
Right.
Which would be so, and it could all be mapped like this, and then like you're saying, you could remix it.
You can, absolutely. It's going to keep going and keep evolving. Like, this isn't going anywhere. The immersion of what's happening in real life and what's happening digitally.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it evolve so profoundly over the course of the past many years, 20 plus years of festivals and DJing and being in this space. And we've always put such an emphasis on there are two very different experiences, and yet they are almost the same, and it's being there in person.
Yeah.
And a festival can hold 100,000 people at one time, but there are 1 million people who want to see a Porter Robinson Secret Sky Festival, but they can't all get there. 1, venues can't hold that.
Right.
2, safety and COVID.
Right.
3, ticket prices, and you just cannot get there. But to be able to have everything not just visually look really great, audio sounds so amazing and impeccable from the comfort of your own home as well, it's basically giving you a very similar experience.
Ovilee, what do you think about the 360 experience at something like E3?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to be honest, just a side tangent as you were speaking. The first thing that came to my mind as you're talking, I'm like, you know what would make so much money?
What's that?
If people create like the full VR, kind of like 360 video experience that a lot of people have seen, and then add in the immersive sound of like a BTS concert.
Yeah.
And you just put yourself, you are the fan, front row and center, or a little bit further back if you want that, that sound quality. And it's just you, and they're playing to you. Oh my God, they would make so much money.
Yeah.
But for
Because it's like a one-to-one experience.
and
They need
It's
to.
gonna
right?
happen.
Yeah, no, they're really they're struggling.
already
BTS is hurting. So, that one-to-one experience, you are getting a direct line from the band.
Exactly. And again, with the immersive visual around you as well as the audio, it's just like, why would you ever have to go outside to a concert again? You could be like me and shut in. But if you're talking about, a convention where you do have to leave the house, E3, Comic-Con, BlizzCon, all of these different things, like, they're trying to sell you a game. All right, like that's what it is. Like when they pull you in for a player experience or gameplay showcase, they're trying to get you to talk about the game and then eventually purchase the game. So if they're able to pull you in a little bit more, like set you up in a dome, something that Riot Games did with Arcane, their big Netflix show that they released at the end of last year, was they pulled in like a bunch of influencers and media people, and they created an entire dome within their campus.
Yeah.
And the dome would like light up. They did have, I don't think it was full 360 immersive sound, but they still had like surround sound around us. So like everything would shake when, people started fighting. We would see flashes of light going back and forth. And I feel like that's a perfect example of incorporating immersive sound as well as the visuals to really get the fans and the communities excited and pumped to purchase and, play whatever it is that they're trying to show us at E3. Bayonetta 3, please.
And I really love the idea that it's an individualized experience, and both we're talking about gaming and with music, because say, like we said earlier, with saxophone, something you specifically want, you could have that be your journey.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about 360 live stream concerts? Do you think that's something we're getting towards, Toft?
Oh, absolutely. I do. And something interesting that we keep talking about is like it sounds like you're in the room.
Yeah.
And it really does, because when you hear a saxophone recorded through a beautiful microphone, it sounds great and we love it and everything, but it doesn't truly sound like that saxophone's in the room with you. In the room, it's bouncing off this wall, it's bouncing off that wall, it's hitting our one ear before it hits the other ear. There's all these other things that like evolution has done for us to protect us in the wild that make us hear a certain way. And Sony has
We can get rid of that.
Right. We've gotten rid of it. But now Sony and their magical people have figured out how to make this saxophone sound like it's in the room with you. And I actually had the opportunity to do this big project where we had 4 artists and we recorded 4 songs each, them performing live. I recorded it and mixed it. It was like Ant Clemens was one of them. I don't know if you know him. He was nominated for a Grammy that year. And Breezy, who's on All American. She's actress and singer rapper. She's super cool, but and some other bands. And so we did this big project, and I recorded everything, and I mixed everything in stereo first to get all the stems and kind of get everything ready. And then as soon as I put it into the immersive software and put it in the plugin, I was like, oh my God, it sounds like you're actually there.
Yeah.
It sounds like this person is in front of you, and it's a whole new experience. You know, when you're able to put the ambience of the room behind you. It was in this big space, so I had all these room mics, and I was able to throw that ambience all around where you would actually hear it, and it really like feels like you're there. I think that's one of the best applications for it that we're going to see the soonest, you know, outside of like VR, which I think is probably, you know, going to be where it's like holy grail. But
And Hannah, would you want to, if we're talking about live stream concerts in 360, would you want to kind of have like a brand? Would you want something that's like kind of your sound, your tailored, like the thing that's you? Would you be able to do that in a more exponential way with this technology?
I think 1,000%. I mean, we already talk about music in a genre sense. Why not have it when you're like tweaking specific parts of the audio?
Yeah, your signature.
It's your absolute signature with it. It's your style. It's the tone of your voice. It's everything that makes it significantly yours. I want to take like a step back because I want to tell you like a little bit about one of my first experiences with, you know, feeling like I was in the room, because you said it and I was like, oh, I have to say this because I wasn't necessarily in the room, but I was out on a walk right at the beginning of lockdown. Everything is shut down. I was like, let me just go for a long walk. And I put the headphones in and I was listening to this song with the spatial sound going. And when I tell you I walked about 10 miles that day, because I kept walking towards where the sounds were taking me. Like I could hear, I heard, it was a Billie Eilish song, and her music is already super cinematic, and there's so many levels of emotion and audio happening at the same time. She's such a significant artist for the time. I was walking towards this drum beat and I was walking towards this bass line. I literally like did so many steps that day.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like what I'm getting at with it as well, where it's like there's a significant sound that only she can produce, but if somebody wants to replicate that and say, oh, but this is the Eilish sound on an Adele track, oh my God, now we're getting somewhere. And that's individual artistic creativity and expression with it. It's not me just remixing the track, it's them remixing the experience for themselves as well.
Yesterday we kept talking about how more technology equals more individualization, how we get to be weirder, we get to be more unique to ourselves, we get to be all that thing. And I think visually people have accepted that in a lot of ways because that's been going a lot longer. But with this spatial sound, it's literally exponential how many things you can stack, how many things you can add to your signature. Is there anything in a live stream experience, Ovilee, you'd want to make your signature? Something that you think of when you hear these things, you'd be like, that's the thing that I would hone in on.
Oh my God, that isn't weird.
No, that is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
we're leaning weird. Come on now, that is weird.
Awesome. I mean, like, listen, you think of people's signature, you know, either like looks, like I think we were talking about Marshmello and Deadmau, like they all have like the giant things on their head. Gosh, what would I want to, I want, you know how you sometimes just hear like a random sound or like a ringing in your ear and you're not sure if there's, you know, a fire alarm going off or it's just the voices in your head? I would love to mix that.
You want that little,
I would love. Just, it's like, you know, like your little conscious on your shoulder, except just beeps and tones.
Trying to trademark paranoia. You're trying to be like, I want the signature of unease. I'd like that to be mine. Whereas I'm like, I'd like the rainforest to sound like I'm actually in the middle and like have a nice gentle calming
I
sound.
want to be on my toes.
I would like tension at all times.
Whispers in the ear. I can't tell you how many times I'll be sitting there mixing and I'm like on headphones at my house mixing in the 360 realm and there'll be like the sound and I'm like, oh.
You know, this is going to revolutionize horror movies because now Jason's like, it's going to be all around.
Oh, yeah.
And you can experience like all sounds in,
But it's amazing, like creating like DJ music or like hip hop and stuff where there's a lot of ad libs and like you hear those little ad libs like come in your ear. Like,
does it change how you think of producing? Like when you're creating this from the ground up in the pre-production sense, does this change the production and that creative mindset?
Absolutely. You start thinking about things and you're like, oh, what if I made this delay tail that swirls around me while this thing emerges from the middle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you start thinking about things in this three-dimensional space. It's like completely shifts you, you know?
Have you noticed your creative process is different from it was like 5 years ago in this specific direction?
It is, yeah, absolutely. When I start a project and I'm like, this is for immersive, then there's instantly, I'm like, oh, as I'm creating an instrument, I'm like, oh, this is gonna come from behind, shoot over my head. You know? It's gonna launch down, it's gonna be an explosion, and you know.
Now, how do you guys all think that the spatial technology can make events more accessible to people, especially in times like the pandemic? Are there ways that you as a creator can think ahead to put people in this space?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had talked a little bit about it before, because I think we're seeing that in the merging of not only movies, but music and DJing and gaming. Fortnite concerts, we were talking about. Diplo's been in there, Ariana Grande, Travis Scott, Lil Nas X was in Roblox doing a concert. And what it is, it feels like you're there, because not only is it this experience in which you're taking your avatar and you're taking your character and you're paragliding down and dropping yourself into a part of the map, which is already a crazy communal experience because there's so many other people in the room with you.
Yeah.
And that's the visual of it, but to hear it as well, not just from the music perspective, but if you're able to hear everyone else in the room with you as well, and you can hear the kind of like swell of the crowd, or everyone singing along to, Ariana's latest hit, I think that's incredible. And it is taking that space where you don't have to physically be in person, but it doesn't matter because you feel like you're there anyways. And
it kind of, to piggyback off of that, like, I am someone who I would love to go to a Porter Robinson concert in person, but at the same time, with even before COVID, I'm like, I don't want to be surrounded by a couple hundred people. Like, that makes me a little, I start to hear like the little voice on my head.
The one you're trademarking.
Yeah,
that one. Your sound.
Trademark,
Gotcha.
right here. Yeah, they're going like, that person like looks like they have a runny nose. It's like, oh. Run away. But just the accessibility of, if you were to make a concert within Fortnite or Roblox, like what? All I have to do is load up the game, and then I'm in there listening to Ariana Grande, and I don't have to pay $3,000 for a ticket, or I don't have to pay, like 10 grand for a BTS ticket. And then it feels like such a more personalized experience, because if they do take the time to do, like, we're going to film a concert, like an actual concert just for VR. And you do have just the one individual and they're singing directly to the individual, that seems to be the experience that a lot more fans are seeking out nowadays. When you have like a Cameo, people requesting things for TikTok or other apps and stuff, where they want to create some sort of a connection with the person that they're, person who's creating the content that they're consuming.
Right.
So I feel like being able to create a situation, whether it's, like a concert, a movie, or even just like a talk show, game show.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like accessibility even beyond geography. I'd love to see Tupac at the House of Blues. I'd love to hear an artist that I love that I would never get that experience of. I can't go to a concert of his, but if they can map the space, if they can remix the track, and all of your powers combined, then that'd be an experience that we'd get to have.
It's like a personalized autograph. Like, if you think years and years ago, if you wrote your favorite artist, you would hope you would get a physical picture with their handwriting on it. That is a very visual, tangible thing. But what Ovilee is saying is, like, if you have that audio with it as well, it's like Cameo, and someone records you a message, and oh my God, Lisa Vanderpump just spoke directly to me.
Right.
My dreams have come true. But having that in the music space and verging over into, recording or in gaming, it feels like it's done just for you. It feels directly, humanly possible that this person knows whom you are. And that's an invaluable experience.
I love it's also from the creator side and the consumer side.
Yeah.
I love that this connects people on both sides. And I love that technology is causing those bridges to form in very new ways that we might not have thought possible even recently.
Yeah.
And speaking of people at home, how will this impact the average viewer, consumer? Will people need special technology? How does this work?
Well, Coy, you don't need any special technology, because the 360 R8 technology works on any pair of headphones.
So it's just literally, it's built, ready-made, plug-and-play experience.
Plug-and-play experience, any headphones, yeah. I use the Sony 7506s, which just are kind of like the standard engineering headphones. I mean, they're like an industry standard in any studio you go into. But, they work on any headphones you can use. I love them on noise-canceling headphones. I prefer them on over-the-ear headphones.
That makes sense, because the rest of the world interacting with that.
Right.
It's your special space.
It's your special space, so you can be fully immersed and really block everything out, you know? But yeah, they work on any pair of headphones.
Ovilee, we've talked a lot about creativity and making things, but this is also huge for communication. How have you noticed this has changed in the gaming community, how communication's done?
I mean, specifically with having that 360 audio, I do want to jump back to like VR chat, where listen, not everyone could get together over the break for the holidays and see their family and stuff. Now, if everyone in the family happens to have a VR headset, then you could have had the family reunion within VR chat, and you get to hear the in-game fire crackling over on the side while grandma's arguing with uncle. And
Thanksgiving at blankety blank.
exactly, right? Like, it sounds silly, but this very well could be the future in, a couple decades or potentially even next year. If Santa is very generous with their gifts and internet connection. But just in terms of communication in general over the internet, we no longer have to resort to just using like AIM Messenger.
Right.
Or, being nervous about whoever you're speaking to in World of Warcraft kidnapping you and doing something bad. Now, like when I play games, when you have games with built-in voice chat communication, like there's Overwatch or Valorant. Like I'm no longer just playing with random people. I'm playing with people who I'm now making like lasting friendships with, where gaming is being more and more open and accessible to people in the public or just everyday people. So it's like, instead of playing with sweaty gamers who are living in their mom's basement,
It's
a
an
lot
actual
of the people,
relationship.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm playing with people who are doctors and lawyers. So if I'm ever choking in the middle of a game, like I could just be like, hey man, what do I do? Like, that's what I love about the new communication.
So again, 360 RA bringing people together. And just as we said at the top of the show, we do have viewer questions from you folks. We've got a couple YouTube questions. Let's check them out. This first one is for Toft. Who are some of your biggest music inspirations? And are there any artists you would like to remaster specifically in 360 RA?
I think that the holy grail for me would be Bob Marley's Legacy Records, if anyone's listening who can make that. Love to mix that. Yeah, that would be amazing.
I'm gonna pretend we all have his skill set, and I'm gonna pass that to all you guys. Ovilee, is there anyone that you would love to hear remastered, even if you're not doing it? Is there anyone you'd like to hear artists spatially expanded?
I would love to see, or actually hear, some of the Vocaloid stuff. Like Hatsune Miku, like the Luca, like the full hologram concert now have immersive audio here, because sometimes the audio quality isn't all that great when you're trying to like listen to one of the concert recordings. It's just bad because people aren't, they don't have the resources to record something so great. So if you do have that spatial and immersive audio, and then I also get to see my favorite characters dance and perform, I'm like, that's it. Take my money. Here you go. Here's my credit card.
That's amazing.
And Hannah?
I think for me, I have such an emotional connection to music, and it's just something that I cry so easily. And it goes without saying that Adele's latest album is just top to bottom. You will find that everybody is a fan, whether it's Drake calling her his best friend or, NBA players quoting lyrics after a game.
Yeah.
I want to cry in 360. Like, I want to feel all the feels.
Every
at
emotion, all
times.
degrees and directions.
Yes, I would love to.
I love
please.
that.
I would die for that.
I'm going White Zombie because the cinematic sound of White Zombie and all the sampling, and then it's also a full band, so I imagine the vocals of Rob Zombie mixed with the full band plus the cinematic elements. That's a full 360. That's what I want to
That
go
is
with.
such an interesting choice.
That's
I like that.
those first two albums especially. I need it. This next question is for Hannah. Who is one artist that's popular right now whose music would have the best result using this technology, except Adele? We struck Adele from the
anyone
record.
but Adele. I mean, not that she needs any help sounding better than she
come on, let's
already
enhance
does.
Adele.
But I do think it is in the DJ and production space, and I think it's maybe not any one specific artist, but it's already like the sound engineers who are doing things differently. A Kate Renata who is warping what electronic music is and R&B is at the same time. He's Grammy nominated, and he's so prolific in the sounds that he's able to accomplish, and it comes from years of education, knowledge, practice, rehearsal, and teachings that he intakes. And to have someone like him be able to take sound and do it differently, I think that's going to be inspiring for the next generation of artists as well, because so many young producers and talents take cues from an individual like that the benchmark and the starting ground isn't going to be just laying down a track and then a bass line. This is going to be the starting point.
I just
now.
realized what you just said is like when someone beats an Olympic record,
Yeah.
it's not long until you see that record broken again.
No.
So this is kind of a new music.
Yeah.
Like once this
is going to be like ground zero.
we're
point
gonna
one
hear
right now.
Yeah, this the stuff we've been listening to is like prehistoric.
Yeah.
Because it's of an old era. Oh, that is music. We've evolved. This one is for Ovilee from YouTube. Is there a character in any metaverse who you would want to interview?
Bayonetta, 100% Bayonetta, absolutely.
No hesitation.
Zero. I mean, well, it's a hard tie between her and Lady D. Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. Yeah, tall lady, super tall, 9 feet tall.
I,
Love her. But still, Bayonetta, because I need to be asking her like the beauty regimen, her hair care, because if you are not aware, her entire bodysuit is made up of her hair. But side tangent, bringing it back to audio. Bayonetta is actually a game that I would love to see, the developers kind of like play with the immersive audio with.
Yeah.
Because to hear like the angels trying to attack you from behind, or the bullets whizzing through the air, or like the giant monsters that they have, like swinging like the vines through and everything. That would be so cool, and I would give all of the money that I have right now, like trade my soul to you right now for that kind of experience.
it's going to be like seeing in a new color. It's going to be like hearing in a new way, revolutionizing music, revolutionizing how we experience movies, revolutionizing communication, concerts, remastering. It's truly insane the times we're living in. It is magical. Now, before we go, I've got one last question for you folks. What is the main element you're most excited to work and play with as this tech develops? So what is your personal bucket list? Give you a second to think about it. We're going to start with Hannah. Bucket list, be all end all goal.
Oof. I want to marry the, like I said, IRL and the URL, to make that a seamless experience. And I think we're already there as someone who can operate in both capacities at the same damn time. I mean, I feel like we're already there. Like I said, we've already stepped foot forward, and it's just going to be a snowball rolling down the hill now. Like, it's already picking up speed. And so to be able to communicate not only with people at home in a virtual space, you're communicating with them in all facets, from the visuals to the audio, and you're giving them the ultimate audio experience from top to bottom.
So your bucket list is already happening. How's that feel?
It's already here. We're in my bucket list right now. I will say though, Ovilee mentioned something about the communication, and I will say I would kill for the 12-year-old who's whooping my butt at Call of Duty to sound like he's yelling at me in the room. Like, instead of like to his mom on the phone, like, Mom, I'm beating up Hannah Rad right now. I want to sound like he's in my face.
That's a really good point. There is going to be a bit more of an intimacy pro and con with someone like trash talking right there.
He's right here.
That's true. That's going to be dark.
Then we need like an immersive, like slap through the microphone.
Tactical gloves. That's what they're for. We're bringing it all together. It's right there. Sound and immersion connecting us.
You have the VR haptic vest,
True.
which
You gotta
is
feel it.
kind of like my dream. Like, I would love, like you're saying, mixing the IRL with the URL. I would really love to just completely shut out the rest of the world and have a full VR experience where not only am I seeing like the amazing virtual world around me, but I'm also just able to, hear the world around me. Completely shut out everyone else. That's how we get like our real Sword Art Online experience. When you have like the haptic vest, and when you have the, kind of like, I have no idea what they're called, the hand sensors and the feet sensors. So when you move around, like you're moving around in the game, you hear something behind you, whoop-bam! Someone's back over here, whoop-bam! And you're just fully immersed, and that's how I'm trying to escape my reality.
But with that trademark sound of unnerving. Still, it's still there.
Sound. It's like
there
Navi
right there.
in Zelda.
It's gonna have you.
It's like, hey, listen, whack. Hey, listen, whack.
Also for travel, this is really the cool idea of putting yourself like in Boston. Like I want to sit in Boston Common and hear the sounds of my city when I'm stuck anywhere. Like there's so many opportunities. What are your bucket lists?
Right. I mean, I'd like to have like a marriage of music and theater in the like metaverse, so have a whole experience that's like music based, almost like Broadway inside of the metaverse, which it's gonna happen. It's gonna be an experience that we have. We just haven't had it yet. So to me, it's like that sort of, to me, film and theater is kind of like the highest form of art because it combines all these things.
Sure.
So I'd like to see that in the digital space and have us all be able to go and buy tickets and, get your NFT ticket.
Yeah.
And your,
it's coming.
Mint your poster for the wall and, have this fully immersive experience.
The accessibility options are endless. And the idea of going back to like Woodstock and having those bands play and put yourself like what it would have sounded like hearing those bands simultaneously and all those things is just in real time incredible.
Right, yeah. And this Sony's 360 technology is what's going to make that possible from an audio standpoint.
Right.
It really is so powerful in terms of creating an immersive experience, and I mean, that's just where the world's going.
It is cool to see all the ramifications, the endless options, the endless opportunities. That is all the time we have for today's session. It has been a very exciting day hearing all about how spatial sound technology combined with creativity and curiosity are continuing to shape the future of entertainment. Thank you so much to today's panelists, Hannah Rad, Ovilee May, and Toft Willingham. Hannah, where can people find your work?
Twitter, it's at Hannah Rad. Same on Instagram. Twitch, it's DJ Hannah Rad because some imposter stole mine. That's fine. We're not.
We'll deal with that later. That's next.
Deal with that later.
That's
Twitter's.
And Ovilee?
Just Twitter, Twitch, all that fun stuff at Ovilee May. You can watch me do really weird content, mostly sports, mostly video games, and all cringe.
Technology lets us be weirder. That's the beauty. That's the magic.
Yup.
That's the power.
It's normalized. We're normalizing
This
it.
is how the future is in Toft.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere. Toft Willingham, at Toft Willingham is all my socials, and my band Spiritual Rez, R-E-Z, and you can check us out. And you go to Web 1, just Google Toft Willingham, you'll find it.
The Web 1. Thank you so much for joining us here at Unlock with Sony CES 2022 edition. I'm Coy Jandreau, at Coy Jandreau. Have a great night, guys.